No.
Welcome back to Grumpy Old Red. Evening, everybody. Hope you're doing well. And welcome to I would call it a transfer talk, but with these lot, if we get any sense out of them, I'll be impressed. Hope you guys in the chat are doing well. Welcome back. It feels like ages since we've sat down and had a chat. And before we do, I just have to. I've just got to get out of the way. Look at this prize: Murillo Niakate double bubble signed shirt from Football Prizes.
Beautiful.
It is a beauty, one of a kind. You can get your hands on it. The link's pinned in the chat for you to get your tickets in, or you can scan the beautiful looking Murillo right here by my side if you're watching on your TVs or whatever. So let's get into this. Get the likes up. You know the drill. Boys, how you been? How you been? It feels like forever. I've actually enjoyed not having to look at your ugly mugs. I'm sure the chat has as well. Let me get to see you looking sharp in your attire, ready for the kickoff tomorrow, are we?
Yes, it's nice to be not worrying about Forest on a weekly basis. I feel lost. I feel like I'm stuck in a bit of a time capsule, Joe. Those days between Christmas and New Year where you forget what day of the week it is. I'm kind of in that limbo. I have no idea what's going on football-wise because just nothing's going on. I don't have to worry about us. But yeah, I'm perfectly sunburnt from being on the beach for the past month, 2 months. I can't remember when I said that we were already safe. Yeah, I'm buzzing for the Euros. I always get in this period of time where I'm really hyped. I think we're going to win it, and I can't wait for then my heart to be broken in a semi-final or final. But not this time. We're going all the way. I'm convinced.
Lemmy needs a bigger size, says Brett. It's the gym. There's no Forest, so he's been at the gym, innit, Levy? Innit? Yeah.
That's it. This is I wore this shirt the last Euros. I managed to get tickets for England versus Germany at Wembley.
Oh,
what was that?
wow.
2-3 years ago. I was in one of the corners there, and this is the shirt I wore for that. So yeah, it's not been in the tumble dryer. I've just managed to bulk up a little bit, ready for some personal activities that's happening later this year that I'm excited for.
And speaking of gym, how's the treadmill, Crypto?
Oh, so not me.
More like speaking of bulking up, more dairy milk. I had 2 dairy milks today to keep me going. I think the treadmill's collecting dust, but it was good while it lasted.
Yeah, so. My cross trainer hasn't moved. Not doing it. And I was kind of thinking you might come on cleanly shaven, man. It's good to see the facial hair has joined us today. Huh? Is it permanent now? Are you liking the facial hair?
You must have had some sort of shave though, because it doesn't grow to that length over like 5 months.
No, I do. I shave it regularly. I bring it not off, obviously, but I trim it. I've bought myself a beard trimmer. So I'm committed now. Now I've spent all that money. I've got to leave it on now.
And I gotta say, like, Rob was with us, and he sounded like a chipmunk. I'm hoping his mic is still speak, Rob.
Oh no!
Working, you idiot.
It's like being invaded by a bunch of Daleks.
So Rob, say something. Let the chat hear you.
Say I will exterminate you. Say exterminate. Rob, say exterminate.
I think your mic says, you idiot. You might be on like the webcam settings.
Right, you got me again, by the way.
You went and got the Murillo. Did you win an instant prize, the volley shirt? What ticket? 130. Rob, shut up, Rob. We're not taking the mic. You're just like, put the stream on if you don't believe us.
Rob, it literally sounds like a Dalek's being strangled.
Chat, tell him we're not lying, chat. Why is the chat so quiet? There's like 200 in there and they forgot how to type. Anyway, we'll leave him there for a sec. I'll kick him off if he tries to speak. But
number 27.
27. Ooh. All right. Rob, shut up.
Sounds like he spilt his protein juice all over his microphone.
Yeah, it does sound like it's got water in it.
Yeah.
Oh, is this his new PC? Is this the new PC, Rob?
Got him.
I can't get rid of him. I can't. Anyway, good start. All right, let's kick it straight into the transfer. Right, I released my video today with my selections. I'm sure everyone in the chat has had a chance to have a look at it. And honestly, if we buy the players I've recommended, we'll probably win the league. Like, I think that team is going to be that good, right? You lot don't seem so convinced on the panel. You're all looking in different directions. But what did you not like about what I had on there? I mean, the selections were brilliant.
I just think that some of these Saudi players, they're going to be on huge wages. You know, 200-300 grand a week. I just can't see them wanting to come to Forest and be on maybe 50 grand a week.
What? Why? Didn't
go
Jordan
on that.
Henderson?
We're in Saudi earning like 500 grand a week.
Yeah. More like 500 grand a week. Yeah, and we're going to be more than 50.
Well, they're going to be taking like a 70-80% cut in salary, which I just can't see myself personally.
No.
All right, so why did Jordan Henderson leave after 6 months to go to?
Yeah, but Jordan Henderson hated it.
How do you know they don't hate it? Have you ever been to Saudi? I've been. It's actually not too bad, but still, that's not the point. It's hot. It is boiling there, man. I went in December once, and it was like 38 degrees.
Is it like Dubai? I've been to Dubai. That was like 46 degrees.
I don't like Dubai, man.
Crazy.
Too far. They're all saying it's the most sense they've heard out.
Like 6 degrees.
Yeah, but anyway, so that was my selections, right? I want to give you guys the chance to talk about your selection. So again, chat, I'm going to ask you in the chat, if you could have one realistic signing, right? One realistic signing that you want Forest to make, who would it be? Let us know in the chat, okay? I'm going to come to Crypto first on this one because he's put his whole FIFA career mode team together, no doubt, right? He's checked their stats, the 84s all the way up to probably 92s, yeah? What you got going on? And who would you buy?
So, I'm hoping some of you have heard of this guy, but there's a guy I've always had in my FIFA team. And actually...
Are you serious? You're doing this on FIFA?
No. Ironically,
right.
I looked at Transfer Market today, and he's actually number 2 in the potential buys. He's called Van der Voort. He plays for RP Leipzig. Okay. Now, I'm sure, if my memory serves me right, this guy's like 7 foot tall. I think he's 22 years old. He's just under 7 foot, and he's an absolute beast. According to Transfer Market, he's worth about 11 million. Now, he's like Matt Turner, Blackademus, Bryce Samba, and Matt Searles all in one. He's basically the perfect combination. I don't know why I included.
No, he's awful with his feet.
He
gets red carded.
Because, well, if you hadn't seen Matt Turner's performance yesterday against Brazil, 9.5 on Sofascore, did gift a goal to them, but also made 11 saves, even though they were all at his feet. But we'll get past that bit. Yeah, look, this guy. Trust me, this guy Van der Voort. He is the next goalkeeper to look at. And if you haven't got him in your FIFA team, then get him in.
Yeah, but we just bought Carlos Miguel, Ben. So like,
yeah, but I'm seeing Carlos Miguel as more like a backup, because what I'm hoping will happen realistically is I'd like to see Matt Turner be kicked off the continent. Maybe one of those Russian ships that are hanging outside Florida could just ship him off to Russia or somewhere like that. So I think he comes in as a second for me, and then it's whether, I don't know. Everyone's got a different opinion on Matt Searles. I think Matt Searles is good. I don't think there's anything wrong with him, but I do agree that there's not really anything special about him either. You know, especially in the sense that Bryce Samba was amazing at penalties, stopping, etc., etc. And I just think maybe I want to see Forest this next season push on and try and get up to circa 10th place. And I'm
just giving you the platform, right? Say who your dream signing is. And you think...
Oh, my dream signing.
I thought you meant realistic dream signing, right? Or if you got a whole team, you just starting from the back here?
Yeah, I'm just starting from the back. Yeah, I mean,
All right, you said your goalkeeper.
I said
right?
my goalie. I said my
All right,
goalie.
let's fine. Let's go over to let's go to Ant. Right. What you got? Where do you think? Firstly, Ant, where do you think the position of most weakness is for us? And what's your solution?
Yeah, I still think striker, because I know you're keen on
No,
midfield,
man,
and that's fine. Yeah, but you need to score goals in the Premier League. You
Yeah.
need to score goals. Teams that go down normally go down because they can't score goals. Sometimes, I mean, with Sheffield United, the defense is awful as well. But sometimes teams can have okay defenses, but if you don't score, you won't win. That's for sure. And with Taiwo, who's always injured, I cannot rely on Taiwo.
Right.
He's always injured.
Agenda.
Chris Wood, I'm sorry, he did magnificently last season. If he does that again this season, coming up, brilliant. But I don't feel I can rely on that. Do you know what I mean? I don't feel I can rely on it. So I'd like us to bring in a striker that we can rely on to A, be fit, and B, contribute to the team with goals and hold up play and assists. You know, a rounded game.
Right.
So for me, that's why my position of necessity would be a striker.
Okay.
I don't want to go into a season where we're not scoring goals. I hate it.
All right. So you've built it up, Ant. Right. You've pledged your case for the position.
I know what's coming.
Who is this?
No idea.
Are you serious?
No idea.
What?
So my dream signing is a good striker. Who that is, I'll leave others to debate.
Solanke for Ant. Solanke for Ant.
No.
Where's Rob? Where's Rob?
No.
What about Osimhen? But I mean, I can't see it happening. But Osimhen,
Come on, man.
Forest.
You know what? There's something about Osimhen.
I don't rate him.
There's a reason why no team's actually going in for him. All this for like the last 2 or 3 years, everybody's been banging on about Osimhen. But nobody's going in for him.
Yeah, that's why Forest can get him. Because we're crap and he might want to come to us.
So you got no one?
No, that ain't going to happen because, unfortunately, Napoli are very resistant when it comes to lowering their prices. Very resistant. So unless they can lower it to about 25 million, he ain't coming. And also, he's on a fantastic salary at Napoli as well.
Yeah.
So
can we not talk about Osimhen? That's literally like Derby talking about, you know.
Yeah. Okay, I agree.
Lingard.
I agree. Osimhen's not an option.
All right. So what you got? You got nothing.
I can tell you, I don't want Che Adams if that's any use.
Are you with me on that?
Yeah, 100%. I am.
High five. I got to do a poll. We got to have a poll on Che Adams. We got to have a poll on Che Adams. I agree with you, Jack. He is class. He has been linked. There's a video coming out on it soon. Let me just catch up a couple of super chats. Forest till I die, 11 months. You absolute legend. Thank you so much, buddy. Jordan, he's back in the house with a 199. Hey, boys, hope you're all good. I'm glad you're back. We've been nowhere, man. I've just given them a little annual leave. Yeah. I want to know where Rob is. Well, like, he's not even messaged. He's not. He's probably crying.
He's getting his mic out the bath.
Well, he's been typing up this new PC he's got. Joker with the 17 months. Thank you so much.
His new PC, by the way.
I love it. Dylan, thank you so much for the 17 months. Evening to you as well, buddy. All right, so we're going to do a poll on Che Adams. I know Emmy's got some stuff to say on Che Adams. I don't know if you want to put a dream signing up first, or I kind of give you the mic here, Lemmy. Which way are you going with this? Oh my God, you've got his coming home. Oh. We will talk about England in a bit. Okay, go on, Joe.
Well, I think I'm a bit similar to Crypto, where I've not got like a marquee signing. I want.
Well, hang on a second. Wait, I do have a marquee signing. I didn't hear the question.
It's started from the back.
But I have coverage like up and down the field of what I think we need, and I think it totals to about 7 or 8 players. I think we probably need overall. But I think I agree with Wolfie that the most important position, I think, is a defensive midfielder. If I'm being specific, it is definitely rock solid CDM. I agree that with Ant that we do need to score goals, but we've gone from a season where we scored about 30 to 35 to scoring just shy of 50 last season, which was a slightly under par for the course for around like mid-table Premier League. Scoring goals wasn't our problem last season. It was conceding an abundance of goals every single
Didn't we
game.
have the 4th best like defensive XG against us in the league or something?
But we also lost 3-2. What was it? About 7 or 8 times.
Yeah, 5-0 to Fulham.
We weren't getting pumped like 3-0, 4-0, 5-0 anymore, but we were always scoring, but then just letting more than we'd score, which is, I'd say, losing 3-2 that many times was just as bad, if not worse, than getting absolutely pumped. It was the hope that killed me time and time again. So get me a solid central defensive midfielder who we can then build a solid midfield around, and I don't have to worry about our midfield getting overrun, which happened too many times, especially playing like 2 defensive midfielders. So that's where I want to focus, and I do like the link that we've had from Florentino Luis from Benfica. He is just a defensive midfielder. He's not great at going forward, but I'm not fussed about a defensive midfielder going forward. I want someone who's just got
Rooney.
Brilliant stats defensively, and then we've got so many good central midfielders who can progress the ball forwards. I mean, we've got Dominguez and Danilo who can do that. I just want someone.
One sec, Joe. Sorry, everyone says lagging. We lagging?
Not for me.
And they're all saying lagging, so I don't think they're trolling. Are we good here, guys? Are we good? Well, Laurie thinks Ant looks better than Rooney. I don't know if that's a compliment or not.
I say I had one for Clooney, one for Rooney. I think the Rooney one, he means when you see me playing football, I look like Rooney. I think
I see. I see.
That one. And incidentally, guys, people out there, can I just give you a little insight as to why I was underprepared for tonight's shows regarding having players? I got a message at 7:45 saying, come up with some players you want us to buy. That's the agenda tonight. At 7:45.
That's a whole 15 minutes, right? You had plenty of time. Look, Ben put a whole team together. Lemmy was just going through it before I rudely interrupted him. Right, they're saying it's fine now. Apologies, Lemmy. Apologies that I interrupted.
Hey, I was just I can't say I was really listening to what you guys were just saying because I just tuned into the stream to make sure it wasn't lagging on my phone YouTube and it seemed fine. So I think we're all good.
Extra viewer, love it. Sorry, carry on, Lemmy. You were saying.
Yeah, Florentino Luis. Yeah. My main focus, but I want like 2 goalkeepers, 2 strikers, a winger, a centre back, a right back, and then Florentino Luis.
So you want a whole new team, basically.
You want 8?
That's with a few caveats there. So I've got 1 centre back for definite, 2 if we end up losing Murillo. I've got 1 striker for definite, 2 if we lose Taiwo. So, because I've also got a list of players that I think we should probably ship out.
Hey, tell me who you would take as striker then. Didn't that you want to strike?
Tammy Abraham, first and foremost, would be my go-to if I want a starting striker. But realistically, if I don't think that we have to replace a striker, which I don't think we do, I don't think we need a brand new striker because we're not scoring goals from the striker position. I'll take Che Adams as a bit part player in the squad. I would rather have him on a free playing in and being maybe like 3rd string if both our options are injured, which seemed to happen at a couple of points during the season, as opposed to bringing in players on a loan, never playing them in the right position and paying 200 grand a week for them.
So you'd take Che Adams
over doing another signing like Divock Origi? Absolutely.
Okay, we're not going to re-sign Divock Origi, so you can't make that.
Yeah, but the only reason we signed Gio Reyna on a loan was in case that Morgan Gibbs-White got injured. I genuinely think the only reason we got Divock Origi in was as a replacement striker, and we ended up playing him on the right wing, out of position, and paying 200 grand a week, and all agreeing he was probably one of our worst signings of the year.
What's that going to do with Che Adams?
Sorry?
What's that going to do with Che Adams?
Because that bringing in a player like that on a free transfer when he's still, 25, 26, he's still got plenty of years left in him. I'd rather do that and have someone in a development role. And if we have to rely on him because both of our strikers are injured, then he can play there. I'd rather do that than rely on hitting the panic button and having to bring someone in on a loan. And then, oh, now Taiwo's back. You're not going to play again, but we're still going to keep paying you a shitload of money.
I just couldn't disagree with more. This Che Adams thing is an absolute joke. I hope he goes.
What was your opinion on Chris Wood when we signed him on a permanent?
That it was way overpriced.
And that he was deadwood and he would never do anything in a Forest shirt.
Yeah, under Cooper.
Yeah. How did that work
Yeah,
out?
but Lightning doesn't
how did it
often
work
strike
out?
twice
Under
to the same
Cooper.
place, does it?
Exactly. It's like you can't just liken one player and say, oh, because Chris Wood was shit for a year and then became good once we got a decent manager, that means that Che Adams is gonna be good even though he's been shit his whole career.
Under a decent manager.
Well, who's he had?
Well, no, who would he be coming under? If you're saying that Chris Wood's only good because he's under a new manager, why does that rule not apply to anyone?
Well, if you watched my video on a Nuno formation when we first got him, you would have seen that a target, big, lumpy, slow striker suits him. Che Adams is not that. He doesn't work in a Nuno
You're
system.
basically describing Solanke.
Well, what I'm ultimately, I'd still want Chris Wood as my starting striker. I'd then probably still, if we could.
This is the problem, Lemmy. You're recruiting the wrong way round.
No, I'm not. I've already told you.
Better? Why wouldn't you want to recruit someone better?
Clip it. Go back to the beginning. What was my first thing I said? We don't need goals. We got loads of goals last season. We were about par for the course for around 10th in the league. We need to stop shipping in goals, which means I want to spend our money on a defensive midfielder, maybe a centre-back, a couple of goalkeepers. That's the focus. If we then just get a couple of strikers on a free and they're used as replacements or third string, perfect.
I can't stop laughing. They all want to hear Rob speak.
What's he gonna say?
Should we do it? Well, before Rob speaks, if you want to hear Rob speak, make sure you hit the like button. There's 450 of you in there. Father and son, man. It's Cat Stevens there with me and Rob. Wait. Father, son, and then Granddad. Show him your shirt as well. He's got
his New Zealand shirt on.
Wait, should we put them in age order? All right. So let's. Rob, hi.
Is it working?
Yes. Rob, I preferred it the other way round. Chat, should we go back to dialect, Rob?
There is absolutely no reason why that should not be working on the new machine. It's worked fine in Skype and Discord.
Because you built it.
No, I didn't. I bought it. Well, right. Can we have a little mess around with it afterwards? Because it's probably just one thing I need to click, and it'll stop doing that.
It's working fine.
No, this is the old computer in the spare room.
Oh,
Have you not noticed the lack of England flag?
Oh yeah, so you just took it down, man.
Bring the flag back in. No, this is the.
I didn't notice. I'm not gonna lie. You noticed, Ant?
Yeah,
I've got more than one room in my house.
I did.
Oh, look at you, Mr. Politician. How's the manifest launch today and everything? All good?
That was the Labour manifesto. I'm not interested in that rubbish.
All right, they can all hear you. How are you, Rob?
Oh, I was great until I found that my new computer wasn't any use for FFTV. So I guess I'll have to retire after this.
A bit like the owner, yeah.
I've only got the old one set up because I was transferring files from it. So, well, anyway, it will be fixed.
Can't beat the old ones, mate.
I also think, by the way, I would also take Che Adams for free. There you go, just for a bit of depth. For a bit of depth. Because
you have to agree with your son on everything. You know, fathers and son do. Argue
free for free. What's wrong with him for free?
Yeah.
Anyway, who is your favourite Scotland player? Anyway, come on, surely it's Che Adams.
Scott McKenna, mate.
Is he even in the squad?
Yeah.
Where's the tumbleweed?
Yeah. That shut him up. No, I'm sorry. I'm right. Go on, give us your 4 reason because he's free. That's your reason, is it?
Well, look, I think the thing is, you know who my number 1 transfer target was for striker, and you all poo-pooed it, but it's still Solanke. I think that he's not going to stay at Bournemouth, but at the same time, I don't think he's going to move to the big 6. I think we just need to show some ambition. We just need to at least inquire.
Okay, and
Well, you think he's not good enough, and the others think that he's too good for us. So,
Solanke, you talk about a guy who, prior to last season, we had a purple season, much like Chris Wood, who probably would have scored more goals than Solanke had he been fit for the entire season. Prior to that, his output was 8 Premier League goals, 6 Premier League goals, about 12 Championship goals, nothing all through his career.
Have you got this open in front of you? Did you have it ready? Did you have it ready? All right, I can look at it as well.
Because I know this guy, right? He's been useless for years. He has one good season, and as I say, Chris Wood must be worth 70 million quid now because potentially he had a better goal scoring season.
About 6 years older.
Yeah, okay. So we've got another 6 years for him to get back to his shit normal self then.
Right, so you're saying Solanke is not
Rob, seriously, if he plays next season and gets 20 goals, then I will reevaluate. But I ain't doing it on one season.
It'll be too late. He'll have gone to a big 6.
So Lemmy, what do you think about Solanke?
Chelsea might get him because they buy shit for loads of shitload.
Why are they buying that Villa player, man? Proves
my point. I think. Yeah, proves my point. They just buy crap for loads and loads of money.
For strikers, right, we're either going to continue to rely on Awoniyi and Wood, in which case we need a backup, in which case the likes of Che Adams is the right sort of player.
He's not good enough.
We're going to buy somebody that's better than either of them, and one of them's possibly going to go.
Correct.
Now, in which case it would be, I think Solanke is the obvious target.
He's quoted at 60 million for a start, right? I'm not with Anne. I think there is a good player in him, right? However,
we're not going to spend 60 million on for last 10 years. This good player. Where's he been?
I'm not saying that, and I'm saying
better than Ivan Toney, who's in the England team.
He's not better than Ivan Toney.
Oh, he's far better. Oh, come on.
It's not.
Lemmy, back me up. Come on, Lemmy.
Ivan Toney is a better
you reckon? We need a poll.
He's a better pure striker of the ball and is good at cheating. What more do you want from your striker?
Oh, we need a poll here. We need a poll. Well, on the Che Adams poll, 78% agree with me and Crypto. You're on our side on that one, are you? Or you're on the other side? Yeah. 22% agree with father and son Cat Stevens there at the bottom, right? Let's find out if the chat who's better. Who's better? Is they're always saying Solanke. I don't even know how to spell his name. Solanke or
Solanke.
Oh, I got it right. Or bet 365 Tony. Okay. Let's find out what the chat think. So you're saying Tony.
Tony's better than Solanke, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not even debatable.
What are you saying, Rob? You're saying your boyfriend Solanke. Hi, Rob.
Yes, I am saying that.
Okay.
That's exactly what I just said.
Mini Rob, what are you saying?
Yeah, I'm with Daddy Rob. I'm agreeing that Solanke, especially if we're going on the argument that you were just battering on about me about Che Adams not being a Forest suit because he's not a big, tall striker. Solanke has to be a better striker for his name. Someone did. Someone gave me a hard time.
I was saying Nuno's formation. I was talking about Nuno's formation.
You said that you want a big striker to play there, so Solanke is inevitably going to be better at that than someone who bets on the amount of goals that he's going to miss in a game.
Ooh, shots fired. Crypto, who are you saying?
I'm saying Tony's better than Solanke.
Can I just also address this Che Adams thing a little bit as well, right?
You may, but let me just give you some breaking news. 57% of the chat are voting for Solanke or Solanko, as Jay would say, and 43% have gone for Bet365 Tony.
Yeah, well, we've got the children. We've got the children in. We've got the children in tonight who just look at Twitter, haven't we? That's why. So
is that the same children that voted for Che Adams no, or do you only say that when you're losing a poll?
I only say that when I've got an agenda.
Yeah.
When they agree with me, they're the most intelligent football supporting people on this planet. When they don't,
They currently are.
Children who use Twitter. So it
all right, Mr. Intelligent. All right, talk to me about Che Adams because
I've just got a question. Has Solanke gone to the Euros?
Oh, hang on.
No.
Have a frozen.
Has Tony gone? Has Tony gone to the Euros?
Yeah.
Oh,
He
there you
bribed
go.
his way there.
That's it. Tony's gone to Euros. Solanke hasn't. That says it all.
Right, so that means you think that Adam Wharton is better than Morgan Gibbs-White, then, do you?
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah.
You do?
I found that offensive, actually. I
did that.
was going to burn my
Ant
England
was
top.
about to.
Ant definitely doesn't find that offensive
Blow.
because he's got an agenda against him. Ant hates Morgan Gibbs-White.
No, but I mean, with Maddison injured, what has Gibbs-White got to do to get picked? Honestly, I thought it was
Play well.
Right, okay, so Wharton's going there just to make up the numbers, right? Even Southgate said he's not going to get any game time. He's just there for the ride,
Rob.
not expecting too much. Gibbs-White can actually do something.
Rob, you're wasting your time, my friend. Southgate is an incompetent, fucking useless twat who should be nowhere near the England side.
I know.
Never mind picking it.
But
for the
Andy,
squad, right?
Andy chose Tony over
Any
Solanke.
argument about
Exactly,
who shouldn't be in the team is irrelevant because we've got a tit in charge. So don't worry about it, mate. Seriously, don't worry about it.
Yeah, but Ant, you say that, right? If Southgate goes and wins the Euros, will you be praising his name?
You must be joking. He's already fucked up the World Cup. He's already fucked up the European Championships that were held in England and we're 1-0 up against a shit side, right? If we somehow manage to win in Germany, it will be purely despite Southgate, not because of him. The man is the most useless pile of fucking offal I've ever seen in my life. I despise him. And I don't say that about many people, but it's all the FA with their suits and their old boys network like him because he speaks nicely and he doesn't ruffle any feathers. Nothing. What has he done?
He doesn't wear a suit. He just wears a waistcoat.
What has he done to deserve the England job? And his mate, Steve Holland, who the fuck's that? What gives him the qualifications to be in charge of our national?
Oh, he's frozen. Southgate got to him.
He's got so angry he's knocked his internet off.
He was mid-flow as well. We finally found the cure to shutting Ant up. It's like give him a dodgy internet connection.
Give him
It must be around Ez's. YouTube abandoned. He's still frozen. No, but you were nodding away agreeing with that. I think it's the first time like in ever that I've seen you agree with that. Wait, we got 2 Ants now.
Yeah, no, Ant was kind of right there. It was, oh, Jesus.
Oh, my God.
The world's not ready. The world's not ready.
I couldn't see it. It was only a black screen on mine, so I couldn't see it. But obviously, it was hilarious.
Oh man, I'm crying, man. There's 2 Ants, man. There's 2 Ants.
Southgate got his minions on the job.
Yeah, they just froze you off, man. That's the power.
You know what it is? Twice now it's happened. Bloody Stream Deck update keeps coming up, and when it comes up, it freezes me. Bloody.
So why didn't you just update, mate? It would have made sense. All right,
anyway,
so.
Yeah, so I think I was saying that I disapprove of Gareth Southgate as the manager. So Rob shouldn't worry about who's left in and who's taken because it's irrelevant because the man's useless. So, but going back to the actual thing we were talking about, it's a bit of a waste of time talking about Solanke or Tony.
Solanke?
Yeah, just made that up, couldn't it? Because neither of them are coming, and quite frankly, I'm not bothered. Okay.
No, but you were going to talk about Che Adams. You went off on your Southgate agenda and you were about to talk about Che Adams. I don't know how we ended up there. I get an echo back from someone.
You started talking about Holland for some reason.
Steve Holland. He's not good enough. And if I went round to Lemmy's house and had a little gift wrap,
God help you, Lemmy. God help you.
Give me a second. I'm just
had
going
a
to go lock
little
the
gift
doors.
wrap box and said to Lemmy, "I've got something for you. You don't have to pay. It's free." And he opened up and it was a dog turd in there. Would he go, "Oh, whoopee, it's free, lovely, I'll put it on my mantelpiece"? No, he'd say, "I don't want that because."
Well, let's ask him. Would you take it, Joe? Would you take it?
I will try and spin this in a way that's going to be more favourable for my agenda. Would you take let's say we've got a player here who's really good. He was top of the world, but he's basically playing on one leg. He's going to be playing on a crutch. He's permanently just fucked. But you can have him for a very discounted price. Like 95% off. You can have him, but you're barely going to be able to use him because his leg is basically falling off. Would you take him? Yes or no?
Wait. I didn't hear an answer there, Ant. Did you hear an answer? Or did you hear a question?
No, I didn't hear.
I'm building. Just let me. As good boys do. Let me lay the foundation. Let me lay the foundation. You wouldn't
take neither a lump of shit or a man with one leg to play for Forest.
So Callum Hudson-Odoi for £3 million now isn't looking like a great transfer business.
He had 2 legs.
Yeah, but he was basically.
He was always decent.
Which is why I said, would you take him at an extremely discounted price of £3 million?
Who?
What's that got to do with
You were a little bit disingenuous there.
I'm so confused with all these rhetorical.
What you said was, hang on, let me respond. What you said was, would you take him knowing that he wouldn't be a feature of your team? But that's not the case.
It's not what I said. But let me get to the point now.
I think so.
Let me get round to the point. So we've got Callum Hudson-Odoi. We didn't expect a lot from him because it was £3 million and his Achilles was knackered. But now all of a sudden we're talking about him being worth maybe 20, 30, 40 million. If we get Che Adams, who's not, we've got loan players, we bring loan players in. Sometimes they do okay. A lot of times last season they were wank, so we just send them back. But we get Che Adams in on a free. That's basically the same as maybe a little bit more because you've got to do like a sign-on bonus and like your agent's fees. But his wages.
Lemmy, if you
let me get to my point, please. I've been getting there, and I've just got interjections from left and right. So let me finish. I'm almost there. I'm edging you, but you're about to finish. We get Che Adams on a free. If he does not great, if he does the same kind of return of absolute nothing that Origi did, it doesn't matter. We've got him on a free. It's basically the same.
What's wrong as well, Joe?
If he does well, which none of you have accounted for. Yes, if he does well, if Chris Wood does well, if this unheard of centre back from Brazil called Murillo does well.
Yeah, but we always
all of a sudden they're worth a lot of money, and then all of a sudden we have a lot more to play with. We're then not just always having to sell on whatever good players we've got. We're then doing more of a Brighton, which I'm pretty sure a lot of us would have said
they wouldn't buy Che fucking Adams.
A Brighton model is what I'm pretty sure we'd all like to try and go off of. Well, how are we going to do that? By trying to sign some of the players that Wolfie's on about, well, by buying players that he likes on FIFA for the past 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, but if let's say you bring in Che Adams and he's crap. One, you've wasted a number in the squad effectively.
Yeah.
Two, you've got a player there who won't get played, won't be happy, unsettles the dressing room, and it's just going to be the same shit show as it has been before.
Origi was alone.
Sorry, hang on. Joe, you keep mentioning Origi. None of us here wanted to. I certainly didn't want Origi. He was exactly.
So give me what you want instead.
Hang on, Joe. I was very quiet. I was very quiet when you were going on. So please reciprocate.
Very quiet for you, but yes,
I said he was shit when he came because we got Origi, who was exactly what I expected him to be. Doesn't mean you should get another one that's shit. It means, next time, let's make sure we don't get the wrong player. I agree with you 100%, Lemmy. Origi was a waste of money and time and squad membership. A total waste. I didn't want the guy here, never rated him.
Mhm.
So that was a wrong decision. So, but what you're doing is you're saying, well, because that was a wrong decision, getting Shea Adams in free is a right decision. And I'm not, and I'm saying no, because
He's got a good point. He's got a good point.
he
Don't- don't
will be taking up a percentage of our salary that are paid to the squad that we cannot then use on a decent striker.
So
Nuno likes a smaller squad. Nuno likes a smaller squad.
What do you think Adams is going to need to be paid?
Money.
Because Origi's been costing us 120k a week, right? Chris Wood 90k a week. If we get Adams in on 30k a week, that's all right.
You don't know that. Hang on, Rob. Hang on. Let me stop you there. You don't know he's coming on 30. You've got no
You don't
idea.
know that he's coming on more.
Okay, you don't know he's coming in on
You
more.
don't know that he's unsettling the entire group's wage bill.
But if he comes on 3 pence a month, it's still too much for our squad. We could spend that 3 pence a month on somebody else.
We want an understudy because we've had almost no games in the last season where we've had a 1 year and
we
Wood
want the
both
main
fit.
striker, Rob.
Shea Adams
don't need a main striker.
He's a has-been.
You don't need a main
You can't rely on Wood to have another season like the one we just had. He's also quite injury prone as well. We don't need a third string backup, Rob. We need a main striker.
Which is Tammy Abraham.
Available.
Which is
You don't get Tammy Abraham.
Love it.
No, I said Chuba Akpom.
Oh my god.
Well, don't say
I would
it.
rather Akpom than Shea Adams. I'll be serious.
Nobody knows whether Akpom is a pile of poo in the Premier League. Let's not mess about. We're trying to have a better season, not bringing
Look,
kids
he's
up.
been good at Ajax, and you bought Sangare on the basis of PSV.
He's not Ajax.
Yes. And I
It's the
still
same
believe that he will be a good player.
Wait, and he said
that's a lot of
you
money.
bought Sangare. You. Look at this agenda, Rob. What's this Sangare agenda or a Wolfie agenda here?
Akpom would have been a lot more use in the closing stages of the season than Ribeiro or any of those other people.
You don't know that. He's a kid. He's an
He wouldn't have got played.
Nobody
Look,
played
we
him in
either
the Premier
need a
League.
striker that is way better than what we've got, or we need a decent understudy so we've got some depth in the team because we've almost never got Wood
I said
and
we need
one
a new main
fit.
striker. No more backups. We need
So
a
then
new
our
main
depth
striker.
is Chris Wood and
Who?
Taiwo.
I propose Solanke. You say he's shit. Who's your proposal?
Even if I thought Solanke was magnificent,
No,
it makes no
who is your
difference.
proposal?
Hang on. It makes no difference for 2 reasons. A, I'm not in charge of recruitment, unfortunately. And B, we ain't paying what it would take to get him out of Bournemouth.
Shall
No
we just
way.
end the stream now then? Because apparently any of our suggestions are just wank,
Yeah,
and
what
Ant has
are
no
those
suggestions.
Abraham,
We'll just say we need someone. We can't decide who. We'll just leave it up to the gods. We'll just throw some cards in the air, throw a dart. Whoever it hits, we'll sign him. Doesn't matter. We'll find Sangare on £35 million. Doesn't play, upsets the dressing room. But we won't talk about that.
What about Garassi?
I said Tammy Abraham. I would go with that.
Yeah,
right?
but so we can't pay that.
Somebody that you mentioned. So don't come with this agenda that I'm just disagreeing with everything. I disagree with stupid.
We're trying to push you for a name. You said that you didn't have one.
Solanke.
In your opening statement, you said we need a striker, but I don't know who. That was the first thing you said on the screen.
And yes, but I'm also willing to listen and learn. And you said, as soon as you said Tammy Abrahams, which, to be fair, Wolfie mentioned earlier on, I thought, yes, there's a man. Yes, he's the kind of striker I would go for. I've got belief in him.
Okay. What about my other suggestion? What about my other suggestion, right? Because you lot are going on about, free Shea Adams. Yeah, we think football is free. The best free striker. Now, let's pretend there's no assault charges or anything like that on them, because they've probably got lawyers and stuff. Alleged, right? Ben Yedder.
No.
Crypto. Ben Yedder.
No.
What? No, chat. Ben Yedder. I'm doing a poll.
I don't want to buy has-beens. I think we need a young...
not a has-been.
He is. He's a has-been.
Ask yourself why he's been at Monaco for 10 years. Because he's not a has-been. He's a never-been. That's why. He scores goals in the French league, which is akin to me scoring against the kids.
Where did Mbappe score his goals?
Yeah, exactly. Let's
in the
see
World
what he
Cup.
does.
No, he didn't.
If you want
he didn't score his goals in the World Cup. He didn't score a hat-trick
He's got
in the
more
World
goals
Cup
in the World Cup, has he, than he has in the French league?
But
There's
you got a hat trick in the World Cup final.
Again, though, you're doing that thing of bringing another player into it. Don't do that. You're all guilty of it. You all say, "Oh well, he didn't. He was shit, so he must be shit." Well, he was good, so no. Mbappe is a different person to Ben Yedder. Trust me, they're a different type of footballer. Okay. Mbappe, who I think is overrated anyway, will probably score wherever he goes because he's very, very talented. I just don't think he's the best footballer that's ever been. Right.
Ben Yedder is.
Ben Yedder spent his entire career in a shitty team playing in front of 4,000 people in a crap league.
He's older than Chris Wood as well. He's older than Chris Wood.
And he's older than Chris Wood. And
how old's Ronaldo? How old's Messi?
And he wouldn't come to Forest anyway. Apart from that, good idea.
Is no one with me on Ben Yedder here? Chat. I'm looking for the intelligent ones in the chat. Right. This guy is a goal-scoring machine. He's a machine, right? He scored internationally. He scored Champions League. I'm sorry. He's got 5-star weak foot on FIFA. Crypto, you'll back me up on that.
Hasn't the French league been dropped out of the top 5 leagues now? Did I read that somewhere?
Their coefficient was better than the Premier League, wasn't it?
Eh?
Their coefficient was better than the Premier League last year, wasn't it?
I don't care. They've been dropped out of the top 5 leagues because it's so poor. Their standard of football.
So does that mean if you've got a poor league, you can't have good players in a poor league?
Yes, you can, but they normally leave before they're 57.
Why?
Because they're good players and other teams want them.
Maybe someone likes living in France. Maybe he's got his roots in there. Maybe he's Monaco, man. Monaco is where the rich play. You know,
maybe I can't blame him for enjoying living in Monaco.
Exactly,
but that doesn't mean that he's prepared for the Premier League, does it?
See, Riley knows his stuff. I'm sorry, Ben Yedder will score wherever he goes. Wherever he goes.
It is true that everyone good on FIFA is good in real life.
There you go.
Another example of that is, and people in the chat will have heard of this guy, Yusafa Moukoko, plays for Borussia Dortmund. He right. Last season wasn't great. 20 games, 5 goals. The season before, do you know what his nickname was? The next Mbappe. And I know Ant doesn't rate Mbappe, so he'll think he's really crap if he's the next one.
I said he's over.
But trust me, this guy, and he will be available because he's only about 20 years old. Even if he's going out on loan, this guy will tear up the Premier League. He will tear up the Premier League, the next Mbappe, and we could have him at Forest.
Okay, so we've put a few cases.
Moving on.
Yeah, Rob, I want to hear a couple of names from you, Rob. That doesn't start with S and end with O or E, depending on if you're a West Ham fan. Right, what have you got to chuck into this mix?
Freddie Adu, good one.
Well, you're on mute, Rob.
Mike's gone again.
So. Yeah. He's gone from dialect to mime.
Now he's muted himself, but he's still muted.
Again. And now he's pissed off.
And he's good.
Okay, thanks for coming on, Rob.
Freddie Adu, he was the next big world superstar.
Oh, wait, he's back. Let's try again. Hi, Rob. You're still muted, mate.
You're muted.
I can see him swearing.
My problem.
All right, we'll come back to you, Rob. You just check your mic setting and StreamYard doesn't change. Okay.
I've got some names, but you're really gonna hate them.
Oh God.
I think we should raid Man United for Varane and Martial. Varane and Martial.
Varane's gone.
Has he? Well, where's he gone?
I think he's gone Saudi. I just know he's gone. I heard it today.
He's a free agent, isn't he? I don't want anything from Man United ever again. Ever. There's not one player at Man U that I would want at Forest. No, thank you.
Martial on a free, though?
He's on a free.
Yeah, Martial on a free would be a decent.
Is that this then out of United's hands? You're then comparing him and his wage packet, which he would demand, because that's what he's been on at United.
Yeah, but on a free, it kind of balances.
You need to get rid of it.
Oh, does it? Does it balance it out on a free if it's someone that's played for Manchester United barely for the past 5 years?
Jesse Lingard.
It balances it out.
You need to get rid of this idea of free. Transfer fees are not an issue for PSR and teams that are struggling. It's salary that is the issue.
Yeah, but only if they put them on really short contracts. If they put him on ridiculously,
he might be demanding 120 grand a week for you, no?
Yeah, but you could put him on a 20-year contract until he retires.
No, Martial's too sick notey, man. He's too injury prone.
It's a shame because he was good, but no.
He was good. He was.
Yeah. I don't know what's wrong. Let me unmute him from here. I can't unmute him because it's you that's muted, Rob. So freaking come on, Rob.
No,
it's still silent.
No.
Try the other PC again, Rob.
The other PC.
Go back to the other PC.
Okay. So there's a few names. I want to go in the chat and see if we got any names. We've got a couple of super chats to catch up on. Warren with the £2. We are red, bless. Yes, we are. You wouldn't think it, by the way, these lot are right. It's been 2 weeks, right? And they've already started arguing. You'd have thought they'd all missed each other and all this crap. And no. Thank you so much, Warren. And JB with the 9 months. Robson, again, nasty message from Street. All right, go sort it out and come back. Thank you, JB, so much for the 9 months. There's been some interesting names in the chat of some players. I like this name from Keith earlier on. Surely we can all agree on this. Chat, what do you lot think of Podence? A bit of sensibility coming out from Keith for once. I may add. Podence would be.
And that has to be an easy one to get, doesn't it? It has to be an easy transfer to do.
Yeah.
Olympiacos to Forest. Did he play under Nuno? I can't remember. I guess he would have been at that time. Would he have?
I kind of think he did, but I can't be sure.
Someone in the chat will know. I think that's an easy transfer to do, but he did spit on Brennan Johnson. Can we forgive that?
Oh, I mean, yeah, I think we can forgive it.
I mean, I can't. Maybe if it was on his dad, but
God, I've got no problem with that.
You've got a massive problem with David Johnson.
What is the problem with the fact that he spat at Brennan Johnson? Why is that an issue? Brennan Johnson is fucking top.
Brennan Johnson's one of our own.
Spitting is reprehensible, and he deserved at least, I would say, without going over the top, 5-match ban at least. In my view, it is reprehensible. It's disgusting. But it happened, and that's in the past, and it was against the Spurs player, so I'm not bothered.
Oh, against the Spurs. Oh, he went there. So you'd take him, man, Podence.
Yeah.
Or Pedance,
yeah,
whatever the
he's been a consistently good player, not just one fucking season.
What are you saying, Lemmy? Would you take him?
As a winger, yeah. Definitely, I'd take him as a winger. I think that's another position where I think that we have to strengthen, but I think we only realistically need maybe one to maybe cover. And I think that he is a brilliant player to then have as someone who's not only his cover, he's going to challenge a lot against Elanga, and he might be someone that we need to kind of drive a bit of competition between him and Elanga. That is what I'd kind of look for. So yeah, I'd rather take him, especially if we're going to be able to get him from Olympiacos. That sounds like realistically a no-brainer, but it'd be one that we do after the 31st of June or 30th of June, I think.
And they are in a bit of trouble money-wise, Olympiacos, because there's a centre-back that I forgot his name. It's in the video tomorrow. Oh, by the way, we're doing the watch-along tomorrow. Make sure you tune in.
Got that midfield, haven't they? Heze, is it? Heze?
Yeah. The one.
If they're looking for a club to buy him out, we're buggered.
Yeah, he's good as well, isn't he?
Can I just very quickly interject and say something that, I mean, we knew this anyway. I just wanted to confirm it for people out there. I was watching a program today. I'm sure most people have seen it, where there was an expert South American football fan, and he was saying that Danilo, before he came to Nottingham Forest, was 100% absolutely never played anywhere else than a deep line number 6. So he was a proper number 6, very successful as well. So that's interesting, that, because we don't think of him in that way, do we now? We think of him more as an 8.
I always felt he was an 8.
So what I'm saying is we do have backup in effect. But if
but Forest, he's always looked better on the front foot than the back foot.
He's not been given much chance, though, to be fair to him, as a number 6. You know.
Yeah.
Well, that's because Mr. Yates gets in there ahead of him.
Oh, that's all.
I wouldn't say that he's not been given the chance. He's always been someone who looks to run with the ball, which I love as a number 8.
I agree.
I agree. He's not been given the chance to sit deep. I feel like when he has sat deep and tried to just play as a number 6, that's arguably been some of his worst games.
Yeah, I know what I'm saying is that before he came to England, before he came to England, that was his position.
Mm-hmm.
It was.
Yeah, but he always came across as an 8 to me. By the way,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna end the poll, and I think the guys that voted on the one that Ant didn't like are still voting on this one by the looks of it, because 69% are saying no to Ben Yedder. And you need to sort the chat out. You really do. Rob, are you back?
I've lost faith in him after the Shea Adams thing.
Yes, you're back,
after the
Rob.
Solanke thing. After the Solanke thing, I've
Wouldn't
lost
know
faith in him.
because there's constant noise from the bottom left. Hello. So I've been on and off this call, but since we're talking about midfield, has anybody mentioned Ross Barkley?
He's gone.
No.
He's at Villa.
Has he gone? Oh, right. Okay. Have I not been reading the news?
It's done, but
It's not done yet, but it's as good as.
Rob, is there no
Hijack.
one you'd raid from Leicester City?
Well, they are coming up. Why should they be raided?
Yeah, but often,
Because
you
they've
know,
got money
if
problems.
they've got money problems, but there's still a chance that, you know, the teams that come up usually go down, and a lot of players are often willing to move to a more secure team, aka Forest.
that
I
sounded
haven't
like a
been
leading
watching
question.
them that closely in the Championship. I'm going to have to resort to Wikipedia now.
Oh, here we go.
There's
BBC.
nobody leaping out
BBC.
from their squad.
Crypto, since you asked the question, who did you want
And
from
Diddy.
I was thinking Eniacho.
He's not a midfielder, mate.
midfield?
No, not midfielder, forward.
You said midfield.
No, I didn't. I just said raid Leicester City for players.
Well, isn't he on a free? He's better than Che Adams.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. I think you could be clever and raid some of the teams coming up or the teams gone down. And then the other thing I'd do is start bringing in youngsters like we have done, where we've had success with Murillo, Danilo, etc. Get some Brazilian youngsters in for the future. I'm not a big fan of this bringing in 33-year-olds.
Unless they're Ben Yedder.
Because they're going to stay for a season, even if they're half decent.
Oh, well,
and then
let
they're
me
gone.
give you this name. Right. Adebayor, whatever his name is. The
The
Luton
Luton
guy.
guy.
He's on his way out for
Right,
8 million. 8 million. Would you take him, Crypto?
Is that the guy with the afro? The really fast one?
No,
He's more
that's Tom.
dreadlock. But
I've got
Tom.
dreads, like mini dreads.
If I'm thinking of the same one,
He's the
who's
one
like-
who turned Joe Worrell inside out.
Yeah,
He's
but
gone.
I could turn Joe Worrell inside out, upside down. He's shit.
Crypto
If it's
has
the one
got an
I'm
inform on FIFA.
oh yeah, 100%, I'd take it. If it's the one I'm thinking of, then yes, I'd take him. I mean, Luton had some decent players, to be fair.
Nah, come on, don't go that far, mate.
They had a few decent players. Their keeper wasn't too bad either.
Oh, I don't know. He's injury prone. Rob, would you take him? You're a fan of the weird Luton club.
I don't know. I wasn't convinced by him. I mean, he's big, but so's Taiwo. I mean, I don't think. Look, by the way, the Iheanacho versus Che Adams debate, I can settle that now. Che Adams, 16 goals in 40 games in the Championship this season. Iheanacho, 5 goals in 23 games. So that's not even a contest.
So what league will we be playing in next season?
No, I'm just correcting
they were both playing in the Championship.
Yeah.
What league will we be playing in?
Right. We're talking about a third choice.
The harder one, where it's going to be more difficult to score goals.
They don't give me freaking stats of Championship players who have scored.
Where's this valuation?
Who was that Sunderland one? Back in the day. It started with an M. Forgot. Chat, who am I talking about? Who scored like 40 goals the year we both went up? What was his name, man? And everyone was like, "Oh, he's going to be brilliant." And then he went to like Charlton or something. He was crap.
You can't compare leagues. I mean, you could say that Langstaff guy, whatever he's called, in Notts County last season scored like 45 goals. What would he score in the Premier League? Probably none.
It's not only that, but also you have to take into account a team's playing style, the players that the player's playing with, whether it's being given the service. There's a lot more to looking at a striker than just how many goals.
Exactly.
If there's anybody who knows how hard it is to go from the Championship to the Premier League and the difference in pace and pressure, it's Forest. We've struggled. We've struggled.
Are we going mental here? Rob, I feel like I'm genuinely going a bit insane because
I feel like I know more about football. I know more from not playing FIFA.
We're getting criticised for comparing
That's why you're
our
wrong.
Championship player to their Championship player, and they're saying that it doesn't count because they have to play in the Premier League.
Well,
the word agenda, Lemmy.
You're misquoting. You're misquoting because
What's the
what we
valuation
said.
for Adebayo anyway? Where's this 8 million come from? Because
From
the
in the
Luton
know.
fans were valuing him at about 60 million, weren't they? They were just delusional.
Yeah, but there's a rule, Rob. A player can't be worth more than your stadium. There's like that rule, you know.
Just don't let Rob drive it, Eddie. Especially if Morgan Gibbs White's around.
No, but anyway, no. The point was, Joe, that you said. Oh no, sorry. We said I'd rather Ian Hatcho than whatever you say his name than Che
You
Adams.
didn't say why.
No one said he was our first choice. Saying he's better
But why is he better?
because he is.
Because if we're not allowed to use stats, because the stats aren't in the Premier League, you have to tell me why he's better.
You can let me.
Well, no, because you just lambasted me and Rob.
All right, you fucking can't then. I'm trying to help you out.
So, can we use stats or can't we use stats? Are we allowed to use common
It
sense?
depends if it helps my side of the argument or yours.
Yeah,
mate.
if they're
Precisely.
players we choose, we can use stats. You guys not so much.
It wasn't Kevin Phillips. It wasn't Kevin
Phillips. In
Phillips.
our favour, Crypto. If the stats are in our
In
favour,
fact,
if they're not, we can't.
The people who don't have a beard and are wearing white England shirts cannot put stats forward.
Yeah, what's going on here? Too cleanly shaven.
I know, yeah, that's
Oh,
not. It's not the
England
way.
word, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Can someone in the chat,
people who
please-
talk sense?
Please, someone
we
in the
know
chat
what's
tell
going
me
on.
the Sunderland player that started with an M that I'm thinking of around the time that we both went up is absolutely driving me
About
crazy.
the time we both went up. as in
Sorry, the
Sunderland.
time they went
The
up through the
90s.
playoffs. They went up through the playoffs. He scored in the final last minute.
Are you talking about the 1990s here?
Yeah, obviously I wasn't born, but had I been born, there was a
so
player
you're not
there.
talking about the recent. No wonder. Right. Okay.
No, what is his name? No, it's what
Not
is his
Niall
name?
Quinn.
No,
Did it
starts
definitely
with
start
an
with an M? M.
Yeah.
M for mother.
I'll tell
M.
you what.
It was Mendonca, Clive Mendonca. Him.
Oh,
No,
he was
a
never
Premier
that
League
bloody
player,
good.
wasn't he?
What are you
He
on
scored
about?
loads
He
in the
played for
championship and then he was
Grimsby.
crap. That was my point I was making. Thank you, Owen. Thank you, man. My
Oh,
head nearly
God.
exploded. Clive Mendonca.
Yeah. He used to play for Grimsby, for goodness sake.
It wasn't Michu, man. He was at Swansea or something, wasn't he?
Yeah, me too. Yeah. There's another one-season wonder.
Yeah.
No,
Exactly.
you should not buy players on one season, especially if they've had poor seasons prior to that. You have to give them a couple of seasons, in my opinion.
Charlton. It was
Michu's an
Charlton. It was Charlton. Sorry, it was Charlton. No, but then there was another one at Sunderland. Fuck me, it's so long ago.
I wasn't born.
Nor was I. That's why I'm struggling to remember.
No, you were born. That's why you're struggling to remember.
Shut up. All right, let's give Rob a chance to say a player because he's missed half the stream, and then we're going to talk about England.
Any position?
Take
Yeah.
your pick, sweetheart.
You know,
Who is
I
this
think
Sunderland? I got to Google it.
it all depends on who we sell. I mean, I think we've got very few signings we actually need to make, except a backup goalkeeper and a backup striker. If we can actually keep the golden trio of Gibbs, White, Hudson-Odoi, and Murillo. If we have to lose one of those, then we're in the market for a replacement. But actually, I think it's more about who leaves than who we bring in. Plus, I think we've got a few decent people in the wings. So I would like to see, oh my God, Aguilera brought back into the squad and given game time this season as well. I don't think the solution is all just bye. I think we've actually got a gigantic. If you include all the people we've got out on loan, I mean, Omar Richards is coming back. We've got to find room for him, right?
He's going back out, mate. He's going back out. Apparently, yeah.
I don't think we should go on a spending spree. I think, honestly, it's more a case of if somebody goes, then we're in the market for a replacement. But I would rather they didn't go in the first place.
But Rob, if we have the same team as last season, say, we might finish in the same position.
Well,
We nearly got relegated.
So I do think that we could do with another winger, and I know that what's his name, Crescencio Somerville, has already been mentioned. I presume in the bits before I was.
No, we haven't. Yeah, I mentioned it in my video. In my video, yes,
right,
but not.
Okay, so
not
I mean, he looks promising. Yeah, absolutely.
But you just said we shouldn't buy anyone, and now you're saying buy someone. I'm confused.
I think that's right. So we've addressed the goalkeeper issue with Miguel, right? We're looking to address the third choice striker option with your guy Che Adams, your Scottish man from Scotland, right? And then, so for me, I think probably Wink is the next stop. A lot depends on whether we're going to have another season of Sangare, because if he goes, then we can use that money on someone else in the midfield.
You can't use that money on someone else because that money would be a loss. We can't use it.
I don't think Sangare is going to go. Whether Sangare stays or not, we need another CDM. We need a Mangala replacement. 100%. We need a Mangala replacement.
Oh God, did we go down Mangala? Well, Mangala's about to save us, though. Mangala's about to save us.
Mangala?
No.
Is there any world in which Mangala stays and Sangare goes?
No, Mangala's gone.
Absolutely not. Mangala.
After what Ez said about him,
I mean, the problem is that actually makes a lot of sense, but it's not going to happen.
No.
Would you do that switch chat? Would you keep Mangala and sell Sangare? Why your ends in the chat? I can't bother to do a poll.
I'm winning that poll.
And would you do it?
No.
This is hard for Ant, this one. This one's hard for it.
Yeah. It is hard for me. I mean, they're not the same player for a start, are they?
You don't say.
They've got different names.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean. It depends on whether you're looking at it financially. It depends on whether you're looking at it financially, just financially, or whether you're looking at what's best for the squad. If finances weren't,
mate, I'm just asking you, man. I'd look at it whatever way you want, man. I don't care.
I prefer Mangala to Sangare at the moment. Yeah. But I wouldn't sell Sangare because it would be a loss.
But Mangala won't come back because he's already said he wants to stay.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I don't blame him. Do you?
July the 1st, the loss is much, much less, and it's a problem for next season. So absolutely, we can sell Sangare after July the 1st.
No, there's no point, Rob. We will make
because the amortization will be lower because he'll be into the second season, and also the loss can go in next year's bucket.
How much are you thinking of getting? Yeah, we don't want to postpone losses.
I'd take 25 million for him. I would take 25 million.
Do you think we'd get 25 million for him?
Sorry?
Do you think we'd get 25 million for him after the season he's just had? Who's going to buy him?
I've just told you what I would take. I'm not saying that anyone is ready to offer that.
Yeah, I'd take 200 million for him. No problem.
I'd keep him.
See what I'm saying? It doesn't matter what we would take.
That is silly. You're taking it to an extreme. Look, I've said I would take 25 million for him.
Yeah, but nobody's going to offer 25 million for him, so it may as well be 200 million.
You don't know that. Just like you don't know whether Solanke is open to offers or not.
No, I don't know that. You're quite right.
With a full pre-season, I think Sangare
you don't know you're
will
going to get 25 million for him either, Rob. It works both ways, mate.
Sangare will come good with a full pre-season.
By the way, it's good for someone to finally notice Ez isn't on. He's out shopping. He'll be back. Everyone say hi to Ez in the chat. He'll be watching later. Say hi, Ez in the chat. Say you all noticed he wasn't there. Okay, let's park this stuff for a minute because there's Euros starting tomorrow. Okay, guys, please do hit like button. There's over 600 of you in here across the platforms. Hope you're enjoying this mess of a show. Okay, hit that like button. Remember, you can still get your tickets for this bad boy unique Murillo Niakate double frame, double signed, one of a kind UT from Football Prizes with insta wins of Willy Bolly if you hit ticket number 130, and you get Tavares' shirt, but it says Nuno on the back, so you can pretend it's the manager if you want. What you got to do is click on the link that's pinned in the chat or scan Murillo right here. Give Murillo a quick scan if you're watching on the TV and grab your tickets. Okay, let's move this on to the Euros and England. Being that you two or three are dressed up in the England camp, who wants to kick us off? Were you flexing your pecs there?
No, I was using my hand to pull my shirt. I'm not going to pretend that.
Can I just start off because I want to be very quick.
Oh God, here we go.
I don't want to get involved.
Very quick. I'll go grab a few more beers.
Yeah, I don't want to get involved in too much discussion because I'm very passionate about my country and my country's team. So and I know that people are going to slag them off. So I'll just say my bit and then I'll try and mute myself. I think that England have the best squad at the Euros, in my opinion. unfortunately, as I mentioned, I may have alluded to it earlier, we've got the worst manager in the world, in history of the world, football or otherwise. So if we win it, it'll be despite Gareth Southgate. I think we do have a chance of winning it, but unfortunately, we're in the lap of the gods, aren't we, because of the manager. It's such a shame. Can you imagine if Guardiola or Klopp or Arteta or something like that had that team in this upcoming Euros? The difference you would see between what we're going to be served up with those guys in charge rather than this person that we've got in charge. It's night and day. And I understand people get really fed up with watching England. Listen, these last two friendly international matches, I didn't even watch, right? And I love England. I'm a big England fan, but I couldn't watch the garbage that man puts out. Now, I will watch the Euros because it's the Euros, and I'm be hoping and praying that Southgate has a nasty accident and can't make it and ends up in hospital and doesn't see any of them. All right? Because I don't want him there. I detest the man.
He's already there, Aaron. It's already there.
No, it's not already there because they're not started yet.
He's a
He's
joke.
not already at the game, is he? I'm talking about at the games. The man has no tactical awareness whatsoever. He succeeded in nothing in his managerial career. I don't want to hear bullshit about 40 years ago with.
Yeah, but you know who his protege was?
Didn't he get Middlesbrough to a League Cup final?
And Europa, or whatever it's called, UEFA back then. Yeah.
How many years ago? And you're talking about a different type of football in them days to the what football that we need. You're talking about a different type of football than happens nowadays. It's a different game, different players, far more foreign managers. It's a different game from what he did all those years ago with what was an average team. Okay. That was a long time ago. With England, he's done nothing except cost us a World Cup and one Euros at least. He's cost us those because we were the best teams and we should have won both of those competitions. This one coming up will be 3 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting to the age now where I'm starting to think I ain't going to see my country win anything. I was in Greece. I was actually in Greece on holiday in 2004, and I celebrated with the Greeks and everything. Afterwards, I sat down and thought, when's it going to be our turn? When's it going to be our turn? And that was 20 years ago. And we've had our turn. We've had our chances. And Southgate has blown them. And he's going to blow another one.
Do you not think there's a second issue here in terms of the defence? Because I think Lewis Dunk is just too low. He gets ram-passed. He's not
why is
good
Dunk in the squad then?
I agree. Why is he in the squad? It's Southgate who's chosen him. Yeah, but it's too late now. That's the team who are going to start.
It's just too late now. That's why I say I don't expect us to win it and if we do, it would be despite him. He is the reason, the one sole reason. It ain't the players, it's not the squad, it's him. He is the reason that we won't win this championship. Him. He's a disgrace. If he had anything about him, he'd have gone years ago. He didn't ever take the job. He said, sorry, I'm shit. I'm not good enough. But the FA said, no, it doesn't matter, Gareth, because you speak well. Honestly.
I mean, I sense a bit of an agenda there. I want to know if there's any Southgate fans in the chat. I'm gonna put a poll up. Oh God, and we'll have issues with you. Yeah, lucky it's an anonymous poll. Rob, you're you're kind of up there with. You're on mute, by the way. You're up there with your love for England, and you've lived through most of what Ant's seen and the
Rob,
heartache.
did you just write a comment to yourself? Is that you? Or?
Anyway, you're still on mute. Bloody hell! Unclick the mute button.
You're on mute.
All right, Lemmy, as the son of Rob, right? You've witnessed a few heartaches, not as many as Ant, no doubt, right?
Yeah.
But what do you feel as a younger generation England fan when you see this squad? And Ant is right. There's a lot of talent in there. Defensively, maybe you could question. And Southgate, where do you stand on what you think's going to happen starting tomorrow? Well, technically tomorrow.
I think Southgate. I don't want to completely slander Southgate. I think he did a really good job of building us up from. Because when did he come in? Was it after the Euros in 2016? It
was after Big Sam's whole fiasco, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it was kind of that Euros where we lost to Iceland, where we were really poor. We were absolutely dreadful.
Was he in charge for that one?
Who?
That's Roy Hodgson.
Southgate wasn't in charge then. Southgate only came in, I want to say, for the World Cup in Russia. That was his first.
2018, that was, wasn't it?
That was his first.
He's been there that long.
Yeah. So I think he did a really good job of building us up from the absolute gutter of a national football team to being. I think, especially that Russia tournament, I was then fully behind England, and I felt that was one of the first tournaments where I watched England play. I mean, it was probably it was at that point comparable to like 2002, where I felt like England were going to be able to do something. But I think he's hit his ceiling. He's absolutely hit his ceiling. I think the way that we play with the squad that we've got now is really, really worrying. And that's where I agree with Ant, where I feel like if we were to win, it's not going to be because of the tactics he's implemented in the formation. It's going to be the quality that we've got. Because, yes, our defence is arguably shaky, but we've got the best attack. I'd say the best attack.
Hang on a second, though. To stay consistent, what you're saying, you and Ant are saying is, when we lose, it's Southgate's fault. When we win, it's because of the players.
Interesting.
Fucking
Interesting.
again.
I'm guessing Ant didn't like that comment.
Yeah, he didn't like that one. He didn't like that one. Southgate's on him again. Yeah, but is that a fair comment to chuck at you, Lemmy? When England loses, Southgate's fault, because the subs were blamed, weren't they? In the Italian final and what have you. And then
I mean, I don't remember us last season ever really praising Cooper for his formation and his tactics and his substitutional nous. Whenever we won a game last season, it was because of
that would be too far. That'd be a bit too far.
Individual moments of brilliance where we won games last season, where we were saying yes, Forest won because of a Brennan Johnson brace against Leicester, or a brilliant goal from Taiwo one year.
That technically is a lie. There was a few where he was praised, rightly so.
Yeah, we did give him some praise when he made good subs and set the team up well, played more attacking football.
Yeah, but I'm just countering your argument where I say if we lose, it's all on Southgate. It's not going to be all on Southgate, but I genuinely don't see that. I can't see him utilising our attack to the best of its capability when we have the likes of Harry Kane, who's probably England's most prolific goal scorer, the Premier League's most prolific goal scorer for he didn't leave, playing up top. You've got Saka, Foden, and Cole Palmer, who's on the form of his life at the moment. Jude Bellingham playing in that kind of attacking midfielder role. We have the best attack I've seen, and I'd even compare that to like the likes of 2002, where we had like a great midfield. I'd say we've got the best attack we've had for a very long time, especially my generation, and we're struggling to score against Iceland.
Okay, so do you think they win it?
Oh yeah, I still fully back us to win it, but it's not. It's going to be because of that talent that's there. I think when it comes up to playing in the tournament, they'll step up to it, and those friendlies will just be a blip. But it's not going to be because the style of football that Southgate wants to implement, because the amount of times that we've gone ahead, especially against, I'm pretty sure we went ahead against Croatia and then we bottled it in the semi-final. Yeah. We went ahead against Italy in the final and then we bottled it. I mean, it's almost
hang on, let me. Not a single. We had a shot on target in the second minute, which was a goal. We didn't have a single shot. This is the England team, full of absolute quality, against Italy, who didn't qualify for the World Cup before or the World Cup after. We had a shot and scored after 2 minutes. We didn't have one more single shot on target in 120 odd minutes. That's a disgrace.
That is. Right. Let me bring Rob in before his expensive new PC that isn't working that stops working. Can we hear you, Rob?
Yeah.
I know you got. I know you want to have your say on England.
Yes, this is the old PC. You can hear me all right.
We can hear you. Oh, we should have trolled him, but okay, we can hear you now. It's too late.
Right. So I don't mind that we've got a crap defense, because our midfield and forwards are so good that our defense shouldn't have to do anything. Right. If we play on the front foot, we've probably got the best sort of mix of 5 or 6 attacking players of any team out there in the tournament. The problem is that we won't do that. I mean, if I look back on England, that, you know, from all the time I've been supporting them, we always had, you know, great goalkeepers and defenders. You know, we had Peter Shilton, David Seaman, Tony Adams, Stuart Pearce, Des Walker, and we relied on our defence, and we would try and win games by nicking a 1-0 off Shearer or Lineker or something like that. What we need to do is go out and play without fear. What we need is a kind of Nuno-style manager, but we've got a Cooper-style manager, and it doesn't really suit the squad that we've got. If I look at that squad, we've got probably 4 or 5 world-class players in it. I think we're a little bit vulnerable if Kane gets injured, but let's hope he doesn't. Fingers crossed. I'm a little bit worried about how you knit all of these players together. I hope that Foden turns up this tournament as well, because he's promised a lot, and he hasn't delivered in the previous big tournaments. But I think we all know how it finishes. It finishes with a penalty shootout, either in the quarterfinals, the semi-finals, or if we're lucky, the final, right? Because it always ends that way. I've seen England lose on penalties probably about 10 times now in pretty much every major tournament. I would put my money on it happening against somebody like Portugal, because that's happened twice in my lifetime. Remember that game where Sol Campbell had 2 goals disallowed and we lost on penalties to them? We never learn our fucking lesson. No. It was Portugal. I think probably, was it 2006? Maybe.
Is that the one with Ronaldo and the wing? That one?
Yeah. But anyway,
I can't remember.
We never learn our fucking lesson, which is that we don't practice penalties because no practice can prepare you for the real thing, and blah 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 blah. We've got Gareth Southgate in charge of penalties, which is, I couldn't think of a worse person to put in charge. I mean, at least after Pearce missed his penalty, he came back 6 years later and practically broke the net with it. But Southgate just brought it all back down on us again at Wembley again. He can't be trusted. So I think that's how it's going to end. And, you know, if you ask me who's going to win it, Germany, obviously.
Germany?
Germany.
Germany won't win.
Ant now. Look at Ant.
They're the hosts, and they're Germany. I mean, they don't have to have the best squad. It's all mind games. We will think that we're not good enough. If we come up against Germany, I don't think we'll beat them.
I think an alternative ending is France beat us 3-2, and I can see that happening.
Well, just checking that Giroud's retired. Has Giroud retired?
No, he's in the squad.
For God's sake! Right. Well, then him. Yeah, absolutely.
So,
what is he now? 40 years old. How old is he?
He's 37, I think. 37, 38.
Oh,
he just won't go away. Yeah, I can't.
I think Rob Ibrahimovic. I had to wait for him to die of old age. He just wouldn't go away.
Rob,
go on.
I was just going to say, Rob makes a good point about our midfield and attacking lineup are probably the best in the tournament, but Southgate is not an attacking manager, and that could come back to haunt us.
Yeah, but are we overhyping the front six?
No, I think they're brilliant.
Overhyping them at all.
I think they're fantastic.
Like, are you saying Mbappe wouldn't get in, for example?
He would get in, but compare the rest of the French attack. Don't just say one name. You have to compare him to.
No, I am gonna look at it individually, because is this the best front six? Like, no one's replaceable.
Yes, it is.
Of course, they're replaceable, but that's you're trying to form an international team as a bit part, like as if it's a football club like Nottingham Forest, which it isn't.
Not only are they the best, they're all in form, which is really important. Southgate needs to play them in the right position, though. Because I'm
Have we agreed what the front six is?
I'm a big
like Kane, Saka, Foden, Bellingham, and Rice. Is it that six? Is that what we're talking about?
I'm not convinced on Saka. I'm not convinced.
That's good enough to beat any team in the world. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would say pretty much they're all world-class players. I mean, how about Rice?
100%.
He's okay.
My only concern is that
Right.
Bellingham and Foden kind of want to play in the same position. They're both. I think Bellingham and Foden.
Hang on a sec. Bellingham must take precedence, in my opinion, because I think he's probably the best in the world in that position. He's also doing it for Real Madrid. I
agree.
So we're not talking fucking Monaco.
Yeah, but
we're not
Foden
talking
needs to
PSG,
be
we're
on the
talking Real Madrid, right?
Therefore,
hang on a sec. So therefore, Foden will have to fit in, and Foden is good enough to fit in anyway.
He is.
Yeah, I agree, but it's still putting square pegs in round holes.
No. Foden's round peg for every round hole you've got.
No, I just think I wouldn't go as Saka. That's what I would do.
You read a lot of newspapers.
May I ask why?
I just think Saka gets overplayed. I think he's a good player, but he's been overplayed. 2 years he basically
that rhetoric, that's just lazy journalism, that is.
Not lazy.
All footballers play as much as Saka. All of them.
No, they don't.
Saka plays no more than anybody else.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
He
Saliba played more than Saka last year.
He went on the longest
Saliba played
game
more
streak.
than Saka last year. Ben White played more than Saka last year.
Where's Ben White?
Yeah, but Ben
should
White
be in the team. Why is he not in the team?
The only thing I don't like about Saka
right back in the country and he's not in the squad.
I don't like his diving. Yeah, but that's on Gareth Southgate for upsetting him. So
what, the same Southgate that picks Tony over Solanke?
I don't like. The only thing I don't like about Saka
he's not going to play, is he?
diving. He dives a lot.
Saka is a diver, and he's a bit of a Callum Hudson-Odoi, isn't he? Just the inverse from the other side, cutting onto his left foot.
Yeah, and like Hudson-Odoi, they can't.
Pretty good though.
I'm not saying he's bad.
I'm just saying having one trick if it works.
About stats, but did you see his goals and assists last season for a player that's not very good, according to you? Did you see?
Did I say not very good? I just said he's the weakness.
Yeah, ignore that.
Just don't let him take any penalties.
For playing in a team that was challenging him for 38 game week, and he scored more than anybody else in that side.
I personally agree with Owen. I like the look of Eze there instead, or even Gordon. That's my personal opinion. Look, I'm looking down at England here from Scotland. Right?
You're perfectly entitled to that opinion.
I think group stages, yeah, definitely.
For me, it's something Crypto said. You play the form players. Do not tell me that Eze's form leading into this, Saka's form was better than Eze's leading into this.
Saka's form was better than Eze's leading into this. 100%.
No chance. No chance.
He kept going to the end of the season, scoring goals and providing assists. Did you see how many goals? Did you see how many? I'm going to say. Did you see how many? God Almighty! I start talking to children. Did you see how many goals Arsenal scored in the last 10 games compared with Palace?
Arsenal. Here we go.
So we touched
he plays for Arsenal. Fucking hell!
We're talking individually. We're talking individually.
So, did you see how many goals Accrington Stanley scored? I know it's got nothing to do with Saka, but I can't say Arsenal.
Yeah, but you did it, and you didn't say how many goals Saka scored. You said how many goals Arsenal scored.
Yes, I'm talking. Saka's part of that attack. He played every game in the last 10 games. He's part of that attack.
I am talking Eze,
and he scored goals. Have a look. How many goals and assists he got in the last 10 games?
Eze is in better form than Saka. I'm not. Eze is in better form than Saka.
He missed the sitter against us.
He's not. He's not as good as Saka. He's not as good as Saka.
Did I say he's as good as Saka, or did I say his form is better than Saka leading into this?
But it's not. You're just imagining it. Because Palace had a good end to the season. You're imagining it. Did you see Arsenal's end to the season? He was part of that.
Where's Rich when I need him, man?
I think there's a comment that's going to come back to haunt Anne.
There's been so much shit talking about Saka this season. It's unbelievable.
Earlier this season, Ant said that penalties don't count.
True.
So if we go out on penalties, I'm blaming Ant. And just a point on that, you know how the last major tournaments, who was it? Saka and someone else came on and flopped the penalties, and they came on as the penalty takers, right? They came on literally to take the penalty. For that reason, why is Morgan Gibbs White not in the team? Why is
He brought
Morgan
two
Gibb
people,
White not in the team to
Rashford,
take the
He
penalty?
brought Saka on to take penalties. Both of them missed. That sums up fucking Southgate for you.
Yeah, but that's why you need MG
What?
Dubs in the team.
Yeah, well, I put the poll up, right? Eze or Saka, who's in the better form? I'm not
I
asking who's the
couldn't care less. I couldn't care less. I don't
because
listen to other people's-
you're
I don't listen
wrong.
to other people's views on football because I have my own eyes, my own thoughts.
You
If
know you're
somebody says
wrong.
that
That's
Eze
why you
is better
couldn't
than
care less.
Saka, I don't care.
I wish
not
Saka
better,
didn't
not
play for
better,
Arsenal.
not better. In form. Currently in form.
In form. Would you be all right, Anne? Would you be
I'm
against?
stop now because it's quite simple that Saka played for one of the top two teams in England, and he kept his form till the last game of the season. He probably scored in the last game of the season, right? So he kept his form. But because Eze plays for a shit side who did some good games towards the end of the season, you all think, oh, look how brilliant he is. Put Eze in our Arsenal team and see how he goes then.
We can't because he's gone out shopping.
Around him. When he's playing with class players around him, not a load of shit that he's playing with Palace.
Hudson-Odoi had a good end to the season.
It's true. I would have had him.
I don't think Hudson-Odoi's in the England squad, though, Lemmy, as far as I'm aware.
Well, I'm just wondering where that sits with your point of view there of having a good player with.
Hudson-Odoi is not as good as Saka, and he didn't play as well as Saka.
Is he as good as Eze?
That's satisfier.
How does he compare to Eze? Since we're about the same
Different
league.
type of player to Eze. You can't compare.
All right, let me just get
And you know who else scored? You know who else scored?
Am I wrong?
And you know who else scored on the last home game of the season for their club? Solanke.
I haven't got the tumbleweed.
So what?
All right, Curtis, thank you so much for the $5. This is the team he's going with. Rob, would you agree with it? I'm going to read it out. Before I do, by the way, the chat is back on form. 71% say that Eze is in the better form to Saka. So, chat, I've always trusted in your smartness. Curtis has gone for Pickford in goal, Trippier left centre back, Guehi at right centre back, Stone right back.
You're reading it wrong.
I don't know how to say his name, man. How do you say it?
No, you've got to do the LB first, then right. We can read it.
Say it. Oh,
say the position first.
Trippier's left back, not centre back.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, okay. So Pickford's still in goal. Yeah. Trippier left back.
Yeah.
Is Guehi? Is that how you pronounce his name?
As the left centre back.
Yeah. Okay. Stones and Kyle Walker CDM, Rice LCM, Bellingham RCM, Friends. Fuck's sake, you read it, Lemmy, man. I keep getting ahead of myself.
Right, Curtis Jones for the $5 donation. Thank you very much. His suggestion is Pickford in goal, Trippier is left back, Gay is your left centre back, Stones is your right centre back, and Kyle Walker rounding up the defence at right back. With your central defensive midfielder, he'd like Declan Rice. Left centre midfielder, he'd want Bellingham, and pairing him would be Trent Alexander-Arnold at right central midfield. He'd then want Foden as his left wing. Foden or Trent Alexander-Arnold as his right centre mid as an alternate. He'd want Eze as his left wing, Kane as his striker, and Saka as his right wing. What do we think about that?
The only thing, Curtis, that you've done there is you've done what Ant does and chosen 12 players.
That's something else that Southgate gets right.
You got Foden and Trent.
So, picking away at that, I would say you've got to somehow try to get Cole Palmer into the starting 11, I think, if we're picking on form.
Saka?
No, probably for Eze in that.
What's up, mate? Really?
Yeah, no, well, Foden to play on the left. And in terms of the defence, it doesn't feel very comfortable, does it? I'm not sure about Shaw versus Trippier on form and fitness either. Trippier from dead balls, but Shaw probably the overall player.
He's fat, man.
It more or less picks itself, the team. I think the gamble in there is Eze because he's not proven himself yet. But
I'd say the gamble was Saka.
I think that Palmer has been so immense in the closing the second half of the season.
All he's done is score penalties, Rob.
Look,
Palmer's had a fantastic season.
Penalties are important. International.
No, you're right. You're right.
Well, you do need to go into the knockout games thinking who are your not just who are your first 5 penalty takers, but who are your next 2 or 3 after that. And we always seem to. It's like it's like if you go to the supermarket and get to the checkout and think, "Oh, I haven't got any money." And that's our approach to penalties, right? So you do need to think that. I mean, you can be sure the Germans are thinking in those terms.
So would you go with that formation as well? 4-back instead of Southgate's 3-back?
Well, look, it's like the same situation that Forest had. It's like if your defense isn't very good, you kind of think, oh, let's have safety in numbers, but then you end up with like McKenna, Worrell, and Niakate. I mean, it's like, look, if possible, you want as many attacking players in this team as possible. So going for a 3-back when your central defenders are not your best, I don't think it works. I think you've just got to play on the front foot.
So you're going Kevin Keegan. You want Kevin Keegan back in charge then?
I don't know. Sven-Goran Eriksson more like. But, at least they played on the... Yeah, look, they played a little bit more on the front. All right, Terry Venables. Terry Venables was a good England manager.
Who's the best you've seen, Ant, in your time as England manager?
Terry Venables.
Yeah? Better than Bobby Robson?
Or Bobby Robson.
Oh, yeah, Robson was rubbish.
Come on.
Yeah, it was rubbish.
Who's been your favourite?
In 1990, he was getting absolutely hammered. He had no choice. He had to change the team because of injuries, suspensions, and bad form. And he clicked on the right team. He put Gaza in, and that was that. Apart from that, he was rubbish.
I don't really remember.
Can you not remember all the stick he was getting?
No, I was
massive amounts of stick.
Yeah, but that's in the days that people used to read the newspapers. So, I mean, you're right, though. Southgate is so protected now. I mean, because nobody actually gives a shit what the Sun says. But basically, in those days, if the Sun wanted the England manager fired, they were effectively gone, weren't they? They're on borrowed time.
Correct.
Do you not think
we all know Turnip, don't we? That did for him, basically, yeah.
Do you think that Pickford is number 1?
No.
Because according to Ant's theory, Eze's crap because he plays for Crystal Palace and Saka's good because he plays for Arsenal.
No,
so following that, I'd probably choose Aaron Ramsdale. I'd probably choose Aaron Ramsdale based on that.
Well, he probably would go. I mean, if I ask Ant, he's going to say Ramsdale, isn't he?
He's definitely going to say Ramsdale.
No, I know, because he's not played, has he? He's not played, and the couple of games he has had, he's not looked good.
Wait, are you saying Pickford's more in form than Ramsdale?
Prior
in
to
the same way that Eze's more in form than Saka.
Prior to this season, I would have said absolutely Ramsdale over Pickford. But now I can't say that because Ramsdale's not played, and the times he has played, he's looked nervous. So it's got to be Pickford, I think.
You wouldn't put Henderson in?
He's better than form.
He's in form as well, mate, for Palace.
Yeah, I think Pickford. I mean, I'm not a massive fan, but I think he's got better, like super. He pulls out really incredible saves from time to time. You know what I mean?
I hate him.
His kicking's gone off. Don't you think his kicking's gone off a bit though? He used to be really good, but
I just hate.
I've watched Everton. Huh?
I just hate him. I just can't.
It's like somebody said earlier on about the defense. I remember Brazil 1970. I was only a little boy, mind you, but they didn't bother about having a defense.
Well, that's Rob's tactics, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree. If you're good enough midfield and up top, you don't have to have a fantastic defense, do you?
Yeah, but you say that, but then what happens when you play the likes of Mbappe?
The problem is that Southgate doesn't play possession football. He plays defensive football when the defense is the weakest part of our squad. It's insane.
It is.
Yeah, but you can't play against the likes of France because you're just going to get ran through.
No. You're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. Didn't you watch us against France in the World Cup? We should have beaten them in the World Cup. We were the better side. Did you not watch?
Yeah, shoulda, woulda, coulda, but that's always the case.
Yeah, well, shoulda, woulda.
We didn't get ran through, did we, Chris?
We were the better team against France. Okay, Kane missed the penalty. The chance of that happening a remote. right? But we were the better side.
Kane missed a penalty, but penalties don't matter.
But did we get round to it? Yes or no?
We should have won on the pitch.
Listen, I'm not going to engage in indulge this childish rhetoric rubbish, right?
That's
Yes
our
or no?
entire
Did we get
output.
round to it?
All right, Chat, I'm going to ask you now who you think's going to win it. We have the watch along tomorrow for Germany against Scotland. See how I haven't said anything about Scotland tonight? So make sure you tune
There's
in.
not a lot to say, is there? Come on.
Up. But let me know
Hey,
who
Adam.
you think's going to win the tournament. Get it in the chat.
Shout out or Libya.
Yeah, Scottish Libyan. Curtis, thank you again for the $5. He's saying Cole Palmer is young and I'd rather bring him on late for impact and penalties instead of exhausting him early. Joe's nodding away there. I say if you're good enough, you're old enough. That's what I say. That's what I say.
20 minutes.
Look at Murillo. Look at Murillo. All right, Crypto, kick us off. Who's going to win it? There's so many Frances in the chat. Gary's saying us.
I'd love more than anything to see England win it, but I don't. To be honest, I have no faith that Southgate can take them to win the tournament. I'd love if they won it. It'd be brilliant, but for me, I'm just gonna have to say France because I feel like Southgate's just too defensive, and I don't think he's got it in the players' mind that there's a winning mentality there. He's already come out today and said, "Oh, if I don't win this time, I'm gone." It's almost like the losing mentality's already started, and I don't think that's good for them.
Okay. Rob?
Germany.
How can you say Germany?
They're
Because he
hosting
did that.
it.
It's because he did that accent.
Home team advantage.
We forgot you're secretly German, Rob.
Germany's a bad shout. I don't think Germany's a bad shout. They've got some good players, you know.
They've probably got on paper, let's say the third or fourth best team in it, but they're at home for every game, and they're Germany, and they win penalty shootouts.
And England have got Southgate as manager.
They will never ever lose a penalty shootout, right? So if you've got that in your favour, you're going to go far in a tournament like this.
That is true.
Anybody that wants to beat Germany has to beat them in normal time, right? And there's not many teams that can do that. There's not many. You know, the funny thing is, they might actually slip up in the group games because they're prone to doing that. But once it gets to the knockout phase, that you have to beat Germany in normal time, and that is extremely hard to do.
We did it last time, didn't we, Lemmy? You were there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Lemmy, who you going? Eddie's agreeing with you, Rob. Bloody hell. Bloody hell. That means Germany are definitely not winning it. If those two are
again, Eddie has. He's been on the booze again.
God, Lemmy, who you calling? You got it's coming home as the tag on your name. So are you saying
I'm sticking to my picks me votes that I did on Sofascore, which everybody else that's watching this video can do, and you can try and predict what you think is going to happen in the entire Euros, where you think they're going to finish in the groups, and then predict your own knockout bracket from there. From mine, I predicted that our hardest game is going to be against France in the semi-finals. I think we're going to then get the better of them, and I think we're going to win the final. I think it is the time. We have the best team that we've had since I've been alive, in my opinion. And I think it's about time that we finally win a international competition. So England's going to win it.
We'll have to do it without any penalty shootouts if we are going to do it.
Rob, can I remind you? I'm sure that in the last 2 or 3 penalty shootouts, we've hit 5 out of 5 every time. Fantastic penalties every time. Every penalty's been perfect.
No, the Euro final against Italy, we missed 3 in a row.
Yeah, I know. Since then.
Oh, well, since then, I don't think we've had one.
It's not just about the best players,
is it? At hope in my dreams.
You could say Forest have had the best team they've had for 20 years, but if the manager's crap like Cooper was, then it don't mean anything.
So it's all on the manager.
Well, Crypto, I wasn't predicting Forest were going to win the league. I was saying that was safe.
I thought it'd be in the Champions League by now.
And that's why people should listen to me instead of listen to you. So we'll leave it at that.
Just on what Lemmy was saying, you can go into your predictions. They're completely free. If you click on that link there, go all the way through and see who you end up with the winner. I think I ended up with France in mine. France, shock. Yeah, just a boring one. Go on then, Mr. Shaking your head. And who are you backing to it? Or who are you calling to win it, should I say?
Right. Well, I did exactly the same exercise as Lemmy. And incredibly enough, I came out with the same conclusion. We beat France in the semi-final and Germany in the final. But of course, we're England fans. You know what I mean? There is slight, little bit of bias.
So
maybe.
there is a scenario where England play Germany in the final.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I probably had the same scenario where it was Germany-Portugal in their semi-final.
Yeah, it's quite obvious, wasn't it?
Hang on a
all the way
minute.
through?
Does anybody remember when we were 1-up against France in injury time, and then Zidane scored a free kick and a penalty?
Player of all time.
What year was this? What year was this, Rob?
2003.
Probably when you were like a child or a
I was
That was
still
one of the
invited.
best-
I
that was
remember
one of the
it,
best 4-minute performances I've seen from a player ever in Zidane. He threw
Can
up
I
on
let-
the pitch as
Can I
well,
let
didn't he?
people into a little secret, right? You know when teams meet in a final of a World Cup, say, or Euros, and it goes to penalties, what's happened previous has absolutely no fucking bearing on what's going to happen on that day. You do realise that, don't you? When
Yeah,
those
but you
players
always
to
go
take
on
a
about
penalty-
Forest
when those
record.
players go to take a penalty, they're not thinking, oh, fuck, Gareth Southgate missed, so I'm going to miss. No, they don't.
I fully
So-
agree with Owen. Zidane's the greatest player I've ever seen in my lifetime. What a player.
Did you see him play live?
Yeah,
The liar.
I did.
Liar.
He was at a five-a-side over 40 thing. So,
Right.
man,
So therefore,
Has
what
Anthony done his
we're all
prediction?
agreeing then is your opinion. It means nothing because you've not seen him live. I think that's what we're all
What was
saying.
Ant's prediction?
Ants
What
just
was
copied Lemmy.
England.
He copied Lemmy.
Yeah,
So,
because
wait,
I can't
Ant,
not.
in summary, Southgate is the worst manager in the world, but England are going to win the tournament.
Yeah.
I think I said at the very beginning of my little speech about England that
He was on mute.
if we win it, it will be in spite of Gareth Southgate, not because of Southgate.
And if we lose it, it'll be
England
because
win
of
the
him.
Tournament, will you revise your view on Southgate? Will you say,
Absolutely,
"Oh,
100% not. The man is a fucking useless twat. I don't care if we win every game 10-0 and lift that trophy. He's still shit. It's the players, not the manager. Okay.
On that note, chat, make sure you hit the like button. Thank you for chilling with us. We'll be back tomorrow for the watch along for Germany against Scotland. Come on, Scotland.
Come on, Scotland.
Yeah.
Come on, Germany.
We're going to get nailed, man. We'll see you then.
Hey, minus shaft.
I'll see you tomorrow on the watch along. Come on, you Reds.